I'm excited to be speaking to Anthony Fazio, who is the CEO of VIC. Now, Anthony and we've been doing some work together over the last 2 years, and part of our discussion is really around him sharing what he's gained over the last 24 months and some of the learnings that he's taken away. Anthony, for those people who don't know you, tell us a little bit about you, your role, and also the work we've been doing together.
I'm Anthony Fazio. I'm the CEO of VIC, the mutual bank for the police, health and emergency services. I've been lucky enough to be in the role for 3 years, and you and I started working together about 2 years ago to help my presentations be more meaningful and more inspiring. I would always work on the content, and you highlighted, as did a few other people close to me, say, you know your stuff. However, it's more than just knowing your stuff. It's about bringing other people on the journey and making your presentations more meaningful.
So I was looking through my notes recently and I saw that we've been working together for 2 years now. And of course, over those 2 years, so much has changed in the way we communicate and engage with our employees. Tell me, what has been your biggest insight in regards to that?
Well, in the first year that we were working together, I was able to go out physically and do quite a few presentations. Now, in the second year, obviously that all changed to digital and online. However, the principles remained the same. And that was that your non-verbal cues are just as important as your verbal cues. So it's all about the eye contact, your voice, your mannerisms, and how you held the presentation. And most importantly, sticking true to the message you wanted to get across.
Great. And so you've already touched on that. So I'm curious, is there anything that you've done or that you've developed? Tell me about your secret sauce. What is it that you do when you go or before you go onto a Zoom call? Is there anything that you do to specifically prepare yourself for that?
Yeah, I always take a step away from the content, and in my own mind, I think about what is my message? What is the message that is important that I convey here today? And it can be two-way as well. What am I listening for? What do I want to hear from? And then just relaxing, breathing, making sure I'm making eye contact with the camera and trying to engage as many people as I can in the room. Bearing in mind that in a virtual room, you can easily leave. You can't do that in a physical setting.
Great. What would you say have been your biggest key takeaways from the work that we've been doing together?
Getting out of your comfort zone and really expressing yourself, not just being scripted, but really trying to take people on a journey, engaging with the audience, understanding what they're looking to achieve from your presentation, the non-verbal cues, eye contact, the physical presence.
You've mentioned executive presence, or you've mentioned physical presence, right? So if you cast your mind back to 2 years ago and now, what have been your biggest learnings around executive presence and how to harness that?
Well, first of all, you've got to be brave and actually watch yourself and listen to yourself. None of us like hearing our own voices, and none of us like our appearance. We are our own harshest critics. However, when you push through that and you step back, you do notice quite a few non-verbal cues. And I remember you shared with me that there are things that we all do at times to undermine what we're doing, whether it be moving ahead too much or so forth. So being very cognizant of the fact, being very cognizant of all the other messages that we're giving in our communications.
Great. And so I know that you've always been very focused on the content and the key message. Would it be fair to say that you now place an equal importance on delivery as well as content? Have I persuaded or shifted your mindset around that?
Yes, you certainly have. And the more uncomfortable, probably the better it is. Greater growth as well. It's all about confidence. It's all about what you're trying to achieve. The content can write itself, but if people wanted to read that content, they could easily read it and understand. But it's how you make people remember what you're trying to say and why it is important that you give that presentation.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, Anthony.
Thank you.